Believe it or not, we just started the live show. What's up, everybody? Live from Atlanta. Live from the hotel room as we gather all of our stuff together. We are here in Atlanta in the SEC title game. We couldn't be more thrilled. We couldn't be more overjoyed. And in fact, we are ready to kill. What's up, everybody? What's up? Try and get this better lighting. I kind of want to get that really cool background view there from the hotel. We're staying at the Marriott here in Buckhead. One of, I think, like 15 Marriotts in the same, mile. It was ridiculous. I went to, 2 or 3 of the wrong ones. Not even kidding. And, because they're all on the same road, all on the same address. It's ridiculous. But LSUODYSSEY.COM are here. We're in town. It took a little bit to find the hotel, to track everything down. We are here. We are in Atlanta for the SEC championship game. Tomorrow, LSU will be taking on #1 undefeated Georgia Bulldogs for the second year in a row. This team enters the SEC title game with a 12-0 record. And, let's just be honest, they're in the college football playoff no matter what happens. So, seeing that they lost last year's SEC title game to Alabama, seeing the motivation factor in that game, where is Georgia going to be for this game? Where's Georgia? Tony's going to get pissed off at my production value here as I move things. But sorry, Tony, got to get this all hooked up here. But, Georgia, where's their motivation going to be for this game? Just they want to have an undefeated season, so they're going to make sure of that. Stomp LSU. There's a way that I feel LSU can win this game. There's a few ways I feel LSU can win this game. One is LSU gets incredibly lucky. Turnovers, stuff like that. Second, LSU just dominate in the passing game. And Jaden Daniels is able to really time his passing routes, really get the ball out of his hands, continuously feed these guys. And you got 1 or 2 LSU receivers who just literally just go off and make fools out of Keely Ringo and people like that. And see, that's the thing. Looking at this game, looking at the 2022 SEC championship game, how the hell can LSU win this game? Throwing the ball. How can Georgia throw this game away? How can Georgia lose this game? Being incapable of defending the pass. And you know what? Here's the thing. They have been picked on in the passing game quite frequently as of late. I know Keely Ringo's had some big plays in the back there, and pick 6 here, pick 6 there, and he makes big plays in big moments. But here's the thing. Lately, he has been absolutely taken advantage of in the secondary. Really been picked on. That's not to say Jaden Daniels is going to be able to unlock it, but here's the thing. Going into the game, we know that Jaden Daniels is banged up in some form or fashion, right? So, knowing that Jaden Daniels is already banged up, how much is he going to really be able to throw the ball? How much is that really going to be really a beneficial way for LSU to call plays and to win and try and win this game? It's not going to be like it was the previous 11 weeks of the season, 12 weeks of the season. It can't be, really. I mean, it can't be, because LSU, frankly, just don't have I just don't think we can run against this Georgia front seven. I see a world where we can do it, because of just how elite Will Campbell, um, how elite Anthony Bradford has been, how elite Emory Jones has shown he can be, um, how elite Miles Frazier has suddenly become. Getting Garrett Dellinger back. All these things are big time pluses. All these things are big time pluses, but it's like, maybe really the offensive line's biggest job is just going to have to be probably keep Jaden Daniels upright. This isn't a Georgia Bulldogs team that gets a lot of sacks, but they seem to get them in the biggest plays. They seem to generate the biggest plays at the biggest moments, and that's the thing is LSU really. Outside of Tennessee, we have not seen Georgia play like a full four-quarter onslaught game as we did last year. Like, I feel like when you compare these Georgia teams last year to this year, I feel like last year's Georgia team obviously had the better defense. You got Nakobe Dean, the Butkus Award winner. You got all these guys who went to the NFL. But this year's offense for Georgia is a lot better. Stetson Bennett has far more command. He's got way more confidence, obviously. Shut up a lot of doubters. Winning that, anytime you beat Alabama in a championship game, yeah, you're gonna have some confidence. So that's the thing. And here's the thing too. Stetson Bennett has 7 rushing touchdowns this season. 7 rushing touchdowns this season for Stetson Bennett. That's a number to me that really freaks me out because, Stetson Bennett is not going to run a billion times a game and really like, I'm going to come at you. My running is going to test you. He's just going to do it when you least suspect it and he's going to beat you with it. And that's what really bothers me about it's just like, oh, it's annoying his running style, but it's so effective and it's really damn hard to stop. This game is going to be very tough because it's all about how LSU can stop these playmakers for Georgia. Because here's the thing, McIntosh, that running back. Well, really, both running backs, Dijon Edwards, I think I'm saying it right, and Kenny McIntosh, both have over 600 yards rushing. Both have over 100 carries. Okay, both have over 5.3 yards per average, and both have over 7 touchdowns. One has 7, and the other has 8 touchdowns. And then Kenny McIntosh as well. He's absolute freak in the passing game. He had a 100-yard pass, 100-yard receiving game at one point this season. Had 96 receiving yards last week. He's a true dual threat, a true beast out of the backfield, and someone that, quite frankly, LSU, if we can't get a handle on him, as you saw with a Shane last week, that's another thing that we really kind of lead into here is where is LSU defensively? Was last week just LSU's defense just getting tired, just having a bad game, just incapable of figuring it out? What happened last week against Texas A&M? And is that going to go down again? Is that going to go down again this week against Georgia? Because here's the thing, we let Georgia do that. This game is in the 50s, 60s, and we have no chance. It's over before it begins. This is a game where LSU need an early, maybe not first quarter, but at least first half turnover that really kind of sets the tone and says, we're here. We're not going anywhere. That to me is really how LSU can build in this game. And really, this game, for LSU to be successful, this game is going to be all, and I mean all, about how LSU controls the tempo of this football game. And I know you're thinking, okay, we're gonna have steady doses of Josh Williams. You know what? I really think like this coaching staff knows it. This coaching staff understands what's ahead of them. And you know what? After you lose a game like that, Texas A&M, you might as well just throw it out of the bag, throw it all out. And you know what? Just say, hey, just let it loose and throw the football. We don't care about whether you make mistakes anymore. We've already lost our chance to make the national championship. Go out there and throw the damn football. Show that you can be, you know, the quarterback for the future here at LSU, at least for the next year with Jaden Daniels, potentially coming back for a second year. Because, you know, we see another 80-yard performance or something like that. It's going to be really tough sledding getting people to come back. But everybody come back, come in the chat and post some crazy shit, some crazy comments. Yeah, we just made it here in Atlanta. It's really nice weather. It's about like 55, 56 degrees, like temperatureless, basically. It's hilarious. Just what the doctor ordered. I've been feeling under the weather, and so this is like, ugh, this manna from heaven. It feels really good around here. But really, I'm excited about this game tomorrow because this is a chance to see Harold Perkins live in the flesh. I haven't seen Harold Perkins play football yet in the flesh, so this is going to be very, very fun for me, and it should be fun for you as well to watch this game. I've seen a lot of people bail on LSU's chances for this game. There's no way LSU are going to have a chance in this game. No way. Blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? I don't believe that at all. In fact, I feel LSU have a better chance. This might sound weird. I said this on the show we did earlier this week, but I almost feel like LSU would have a better chance to beat Georgia now. Okay, now after losing to Texas A&M, than they would have had we just beaten the living shit out of A&M and just continued through unabated, no problem. I feel like, having that kind of moment of, whoa, wake up, get slapped in the face really hard, kind of that moment of reality. Now LSU's back to like nothing to lose, 9-3. At best, we're going to the Sugar Bowl or a New Year's Six, and we're still way past expectations people had for this year. 6-6, 7-5. They ended up what we predicted them at, 9-3, and it was one of the saddest 9-3s I've ever seen because LSU had a chance to play for a national championship this year, and we threw that away. And that, how much is that going to weigh on the players? How much is that going to really be something that the players are got in the back of their minds? Like, God, we threw that away. Like that can be something that while they're not thinking about it blatantly, straight up, it's in the back there psychologically. That's something I feel like Brian Kelly is the perfect coach for, because Brian Kelly has changed how this team thinks about themselves. And I think changing the way that you think about yourself when you go into a game against Alabama, against Georgia, it's everything. It's everything. Look at how Cincinnati played against Alabama in the college football playoff this last year. Mike Denbrock called perfect plays that should have, at least gave Cincinnati a big early start in that game. Instead, they have the mentality of, well, we're Cincinnati. What can we do against that, big time Alabama? Such a reverence for Alabama that they were dropping passes that they should have caught because, I have an advantage over Alabama. Should I have an advantage over? And by the time they were even debating this internally, the ball was through their hands. This is all stuff that is very abstract and kind of just very quick feelings, but it's the truth underneath it all. It's something they think about split second in that moment. Not every single player is, oh, we gave up the championship right as they're about to catch the ball. But I'm just saying, there's that unspoken. It's there. Can Kelly wipe that away? I think he can. I think he already has. I think he's done that by reminding these young men what they've already accomplished this season, what they've already made happen this season, and against the odds that they've had to face this season. Just getting here to this moment is absolutely insane. LSU playing in an SEC championship game, well, that should happen. That should be what happens every year, right? In my opinion, LSU should be in the SEC title game, right? Well, okay, but if you look at what LSU started out with this year, 39 scholarships, scholarship players out of a possible 82, like you had your third string super senior quarterback starting for you in that bowl game. You had high profile, big time staff members leave, Corey Raymond, Greg McMahon, Steve Ensminger, Kevin Falk. Well, Kevin Falk wasn't a long time staff member, but you get what I'm saying here. These were all a lot of like LSU Tiger luminaries. And when guys like Corey Raymond, Mickey Joseph, Greg McMahon, all these guys go leaving, everyone's kind of wondering, kind of freaking out. Well, we didn't think Mickey Joseph was the best wide receivers coach, but he was a great recruiter. We're going to suck at recruiting, and everyone just thought every one of Kelly's moves was going to blow up in his face. Everyone thought Brian Kelly was going to make LSU Notre Dame of the South. Everyone thought Brian Kelly was probably going to just rot, down in Baton Rouge for 10 years of that $100 million contract and just sit there and enjoy and just not really get anything going. But really, what I'm thinking is going to happen in this game. I don't know. We'll get to the predictions later. We'll get to the predictions in a bit here. This is a game that I think people are overlooking LSU big time. Big time. No one's giving LSU a chance because it doesn't make sense to, right? It feels weird to give LSU a chance here, right? It doesn't make sense. Why would you give LSU a chance against the number one undefeated defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs? And I get it, because here's the thing. If LSU are going to, just like McIntosh, who I was talking about just a second ago, a dude who really is killing it for Georgia, Brock Bowers. We all know the guy's name. Brock Bowers is just a freak. And Ladd McConkey is also helping him out wide as well. That's the thing, is Stetson Bennett has some really random receivers who aren't really like the carbon copy guys. Oh yeah, that's a dynamite receiver. You look at Ladd McConkey, you don't really think that. You look at Brock Bowers, yeah, he's got all the Gronkowski type of hybrid tight end skill sets, but he's an absolute freak. He actually absolutely maximizes it. Darnell Washington as well, another tight end who shows off his strength. Eric Gilbert's only played like 19 snaps this entire season, has 2 catches, 16 yards, and still has scored a touchdown. So this is a receiving core that's actually had a strong season. 16 receiving touchdowns, but it's still not what they do. Georgia is a team that runs the football. I just feel like that's a big area where they could really, really kill us, because Kenny McIntosh, he has over 400 receiving yards. Ladd McConkey over 600, 4 touchdowns. Brock Bowers 645, 46 catches, Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers, by the way, have the same amount of catches, 46. And then he has 5 touchdowns as well. And then you got Darnell Washington over 400 yards as well. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers over 400 yards. It's kind of like they're not going to be like the West Coast offense or something. They're not going to be like, dinking and dunking nonstop. But they will literally allow Stetson Bennett to take what the defense gives him, and he will punish LSU's defense however he sees it if we allow him to. If he, that's the thing with Stetson Bennett. He is the key to this game. If we can have Harold Perkins spy him and absolutely light his ass up, then LSU has a chance here, because then it makes Stetson Bennett hesitate in those decisions. It makes Stetson Bennett go, wait a minute. Should I be running the football? Wait a minute. Should I, throw that over the middle to Brock Bowers? Everything is going to be, a split-second hesitation, and that's all someone like Harold Perkins needs. That's all someone like Mekhi Wingo needs. That's all someone like Jaquelin Roy, B.J. Ojolari. That's all they need. Micah Baskerville. That's all they need to get in there and get pressure. And that's the thing. That's what we need to beat Stetson Bennett. We need to allow our front seven to absolutely dictate this football game in a way that, does not let Stetson Bennett just do these pass run option plays where he's just rolling out, out to the right or out to the left even, and just has all the time in the world to pick his spot, pick his pass, or to just, take the space and run for 8-9 yards. And that's why Stetson Bennett for me has been so explosive and such a back-breaking quarterback to play against. You look at that title game against Alabama last year. Stetson Bennett made one unbelievable third down play after another that just literally killed the will of Alabama. Just broke the will of Alabama's defense. That's where LSU cannot get caught out. After a week where we're getting burned, getting savaged, getting toasted, having that happen again in the SEC title game early, that would be really, 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 really tough. That'd be really tough to come back from, especially with the physical, the stamina issues we're worrying about with how long this team can last for, how long this team can go against Georgia. Because I'm not saying LSU's defense are having a bad season or whatever. They're having a top 10 defensive season. LSU have been incredible defensively. Devin Achane, that's the first player this season to accumulate 200 yards total on LSU. Of course, I'm not talking about quarterbacks. I'm talking about just, skill position players, offensive players. Put up 200 yards total. He's the first. He's only the fourth. Quinshawn Judkins, Anthony Richardson, Jabari Smalls, and then Devin Achane, just the fourth rusher to put up over 100 yards on LSU's defense. That's incredible. That's incredible. We've only allowed a few 100-yard receivers as well. So, here's the thing. LSU have the defense to keep them competitive, but it's will our offense give them enough breathing room to keep it tight until the third and fourth? That's what I'm looking for. Can they keep it tight to the third and fourth? Because then it's anyone's game. Because the pressure is on Georgia. All the pressure is on Georgia. Okay, when I'm going through the airport, where I'm going through the shuttle, when I'm walking down the street here in Atlanta, guess what some of these people were saying to me? Oh, come 4 p.m. on Saturday, you're not going to be having too much fun. Oh, at this time, you're going to get your ass kicked by, just a lot of smack talk, a lot of friendly smack talk. It's been fun. But, you look in their eyes and they're kind of almost like, yeah, this is a game we're just going to, it's a job. They're looking at LSU like we're a task. That is exactly the mindset LSU had for Texas A&M this last weekend. And we all saw what happened there, a 15-point loss, absolute embarrassment, and it cost us a chance at a national championship in year one under Brian Kelly. So that's the thing. LSU, can they take advantage of maybe some lapses in intensity from Georgia? Can they take advantage of maybe some errors and judgment errors and just these players aren't up for it? Will they be up for it against LSU? Will they? Because I'm telling you right now, if Georgia plays as well as Georgia can, LSU are going to lose this game. That's just the fact of the matter. Georgia are a tougher, stronger, um, deeper team. They're just a deeper team. We can stop 2 or 3 options of theirs, and then they hit us with another one. Like, we could shut down Kenny McIntosh tomorrow. But if they have Dayon Edwards going off, then, like, what do we do there? That's another 600-yard running back with 8 touchdowns on the season. Like, if Brock Bowers is getting shut down, well, they got Ladd McConkey. They got Darnell Washington. Like, that is how LSU need to operate is, okay, we cut down that option, we cut down that option, we cut down that option, put out one fire after another. And the way we're going to do that, utilize your speed. I want to see speed first lineups on defense and on offense. I want to see LSU's speed utilized against Georgia, unlike we've seen yet, because that's the thing. If LSU were to beat Georgia, we will need to see 4 full high-octane quarters from this LSU football team. We will need to see the first complete game of 2022 for LSU football in order to beat Georgia. That is what it will take. LSU will need to play 4 full, kick-ass, profound quarters of football, balls to the wall the entire game from first to 60th minute. Like, they're going to have to give it everything. And that's you can say they did the same for the Alabama game. And, I agree with that one as well. I think Florida, they are good from first to last. But here's the thing, Florida, our offense were flying on all cylinders. Defensively, we were suspect that game for once. Anthony Richardson did go off on us. Tennessee, of course, we all saw what happened there, where we were just getting smacked around by a team that we're just flat out better than us at the time, and coming off of some of the emotional agony from the Will Campbell medical emergency only hours the night before, you can see why our players may have been a little just out of it for that game. Texas A&M, though, there's no excuse for losing that game. It is an absolute disgusting disgrace that happened, and I think you're going to see an angry LSU football team. I think you're going to see an angry, pissed off LSU football team that are like, hey, you know what? That ain't happening again. That is not happening again. That's what I want to see. I want to see a team that's really going to give it everything. Give it everything. If this LSU football team are ready to give it everything they've got for 4 quarters, we have a chance to win this game. All the pressure is on Georgia. I don't know how much more I have to say that. All the pressure is on Georgia. LSU don't have to worry about it this much. LSU don't have to, cut their face off and go running for the hills, and just go out there and play football. Just go out there and play football. You don't need to put your face in a cheese grater and go, oh, Georgia, we bow to you, Georgia, we bow. No, we bow to no one. We're LSU football. We've beaten 2 top 10 teams this year. We beat Florida on the road. We beat Auburn on the road. This is a team. This is a coach. This is a staff. This is a program that are going in all the right directions, pushing all the right buttons. And This is how you build a program into the exact championship contender you want. Sometimes you're going to lose games to great teams, and that's how you kind of build things. That's how later on, Kelly's 2 years from now, that's what I did in that loss um, to Tennessee, and that totally screwed up our team when I did this and that. So then we're a better team. You never waste a failure. You never waste a mistake, because what are you learning in the end if you do? Um, and so I think you're going to see Kelly utilize a lot of that knowledge he's picked up from this season of mistakes, errors here and there, and what that really will mean for LSU is strong, strong ass offer, strong ass coach team that's going to really pull out all the stops tomorrow. That's really what I'm looking for, is a team that's going to be willing and ready to put everything on the line. Jaden Daniels is going to have to be throwing the ball like no one's business. Like that's just what's going to have to happen. And I understand maybe he's not built for that. Maybe he doesn't want to do that. Maybe he wants to trust his legs. It's not going to be up to him tomorrow. He is going to have to throw the football if we're going to beat Georgia. And he's going to have to throw the football a lot. We're going to need to see, I think, around 35 attempts from Jaden Daniels tomorrow. And you know what? We're going to need to. Because anyone saying, "Oh, well, that's not true." How is he going to move? He might be able to move the first half of this game, which is very key, having him get some big plays, rushing the ball in the first part of the game. But trust me, y'all. When you have those type of lower body injuries, they wear down over time, wear down over the time of the game. You're going to need Jaden Daniels to complete third down and fourth down passes to win this game. He's going to have to probably complete 7 or 8 of these third down conversions with his arm. Gosh, we got no one watching live. I'm shocked. Just kidding. I'm not shocked. We usually don't get too many of big audiences in here. It's funny. I'm wondering if people were wondering where my preview articles were for this thing and stuff. And it was I was thinking, I'm going to make a preview article. And the first part of this article is kind of a preview article. You can call it that way. But I also felt like I could just do it on here. Because, I've been dealing with a sick baby all week. It's been crazy. Me and Chelsea have been up night and day just with this baby. And he wasn't feeling too good. It was getting really worrisome. He still, isn't out of the woods. It still hasn't been a good. It was really tough to leave him today. Really tough to leave him. I wouldn't have if he hadn't, started actually kind of turning a new leaf there. He's starting to actually kind of get better. It's starting to drain out of him, luckily. But it's just, it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week for me. And there's a lot of things I wanted to get done with the site in mind. Wasn't able to. For once, we weren't able to pump out, 6-7 articles in a week. And I'm sorry about that, but we were trying to kind of figure out all this stuff for the trip and get everything kind of in order for the trip so that we could be here to cover this for you. Tonight, we're going to go down to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome after we get done here doing this pre-show, and we're going to film a little something in front of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome and check out the fan experience down there. The fan, I can't remember what the official thing is called, but there's some type of fan thing that Carter the Powers told me about and said he's going to go check that out. So I might go follow him, go check that out as well. But yeah, it just it's very interesting coming into this game. Josh Williams coming back. Is he going to be fully fit? We're going to need him bad. We're going to need every last yard we can get running the football.
We cannot see a fumble from John Emery Jr. in this game. I mean, like I shouldn't even say it because it's just so we can't. It would be catastrophic if we had fumbles from John Emery Jr. in this game. It would be catastrophic. We cannot see that happen. Um, we need explosion from John Emery Jr. We need pace. We need moves. We need escapability, elusive nature in open space from John Emery Jr. And we need his best game. He had 3 touchdowns against A&M, 9 carries, 55 yards. The numbers tell us that John Emery fumbles the football every 16.5 carries. Every 16 and a half carries, he fumbles the ball. And it's a lost fumble as well. 4 fumbles on the year. So you can see the analytics that LSU staff are really into, kind of circling around their head, and they're like, you know what? We cap John's, carries at 9 or 10, 12. They don't want him exceeding that 14, 15 mark. Then we got Noah Kane as well. So we do have some options and some battering rams and some different profiles in the running game to get something going. And I think it's very important. As much as you're hearing me say LSU need to throw the football, we need to live and die by the throw in a way. We cannot give up on the run and become so one-dimensional and so, predictable early in this game. We need to keep it going. We need to keep it balanced. We need to keep it aggressive. And I'm worried LSU will become one-dimensional as hell, either one way or the other. And I'm worried about this game becoming a downward spiral quick and fast. Okay? Here's the thing. If LSU aren't turning the ball over early, if LSU are getting, big explosive plays, it's like 7-3 Georgia with like a 7-3 lead after the first quarter, like LSU have like minimized the big plays. LSU have had some big plays themselves. LSU are like knocking on the door of scoring points. They're actually continuing drives, keeping a rhythm. And Jaden Daniels is like picking up 5, 6 with his legs here or there, but then picking up like 15 or 20 with a pass here and there. That to me would signify that LSU are here for 4 quarters and beyond. Really, I think you're either going to see that, or with the type of stamina, the type of energy that this team has left in the reserve, we could see LSU, get beaten up early. It goes into a downward spiral. Everything starts going against LSU. We make one mistake, that mistake begats another, and it's a domino effect, a vicious cycle. I've seen this happen many different ways, but here's the thing with LSU and in SEC title games. We have a fantastic record. We have a fantastic record against Georgia. Georgia, okay. Let's just look at it. Let's just pull it up. Let's just pull it up right now. LSU SEC championship game. Let's just look at the SEC championship game history. Go back to 92. Yeah, 1992 is the first time that the SEC championship game was played. I believe it was Alabama who won the first one because Alabama won the national championship that year with actually Dabo Swinney on that team. Let's see results. Yeah, okay. Alabama won over Florida in the first one. Okay, yeah, LSU's record. The first SEC title game, as we all remember, you should remember, because this season is a very interesting, very entertaining, and very brilliant season. A season that I remember like it was yesterday. One of my first mind-blowing seasons as an LSU fan. 2001. Ranked 21st in the nation, going in to play Tennessee. No one expects anything from us. And Matt Mock absolutely delivers a brilliant performance. We win 31-20. He takes home the MVP award. Huge upset over the #2 Tennessee Volunteers. We ruined their national championship aspirations that season. Absolutely ruined. Um, I mean, it melted Tennessee fans, that loss. It melted their faces, like just the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. 2003, #3 LSU, 34 against #5 Georgia, 13. Justin Vincent goes off, has that crazy 80-yard touchdown run against Georgia that's just ridiculous. I mean, Justin Vincent was, I mean, you know. Now, this is the one outlier. Georgia, ranked number 13, upset third, number third, number 3 ranked LSU Tigers in Les Miles' debut season. Okay. And I believe it was Jamarcus Russell starting this game, and LSU have just an abysmal game. DJ Shockley just went off against us. I mean, just dual threat. And then you have, Jamarcus Russell go out with an injury in the third quarter. It's just, yeah, it was a game where like LSU could have mounted a comeback in that third quarter had things kind of, have we been able to work our way back in there? But once Jamarcus Russell goes out of the game, Matt Flynn comes in, throws that pick six, then it's over. Even though Matt Flynn improved in that game and threw a touchdown to Dwayne Bowe, it didn't really matter. That's a huge outlier. LSU lose to Georgia in 2005 by 20. Les Miles' first season. Okay. 2007, #5 LSU Tigers beat #15 Tennessee 21-14 in the Ryan Perrilloux game. Ryan Perrilloux comes in for an injured Matt Flynn, injured in the triple overtime loss to Arkansas on Black Friday, and a loss we thought knocked us out of the title game, right? Ryan Perrilloux delivered a chance for us to go to the national championship when no one was even thinking about that. He went in there and took his chance and was clutch in what was a really heavy, intense back and forth, bloodbath type of game. 21-14. It was not, you go back and you watch that game, which I have this week, is not very easy on the eye. But if you're a fan of really good defense, and if you're a fan of like quarterbacks who make, towering plays, maybe not by volume, but by, effectiveness, Ryan Perrilloux was brilliant in that game. And it is a glimpse of what could have been with him. Very interesting. 2011, we return again after an absence of 3 years. We play Georgia, #1 LSU Tigers. We struggle in that game. Georgia's up 10-0, and then Tyrann Mathieu runs back the punt or the kickoff, and it's on from there. LSU go on to just destroy Georgia 42-10. It was a very, very interesting way that game just turned. Okay, well, LSU then did not make it in 2012, in 2013, in 2014, in 2015, 2016, 2017, or 2018. From 2012 to 2018, it was just participants from the state of Alabama. You had Alabama in 2012. You had Auburn 2013. This is weird. Auburn in 2013 against Missouri in that crazy 59-42 game that just Trey Mason, all those crazy records, 300-yard game. But then you got 2014 Alabama versus Missouri. So you got Missouri making 2 back-to-back SEC title games in 2013, 2014. I didn't know that. I remember the 2013 one. That's shocking. Wow. And then, yeah, Auburn again in 2017 get trounced by Georgia. 2018 Alabama over Georgia 35-28. So many Alabama and Florida, in the late 2000s, Urban versus Saban, Tebow versus McElroy type of matchups, whatever. LSU did not return to the SEC title game for 8 years. until that 37-10 2019 victory where Joe Burrow just went crazy, had that Heisman moment, and you know, Stingley had that 2 interceptions as well. This is the thing: LSU are 5-1 in the SEC title game, and let's see how many wins are against Georgia. There's 1, 2, 3. We got 3 wins over Georgia and a loss to Georgia. So we're 3-1 against Georgia in the SEC title game. 3-1 against Georgia in the SEC title game, and we're ranked number 14th here in this edition. They were ranked number 12th last time, or sorry, ranked number 4th last time. We were ranked number 1, and then in 2011 they were ranked number 12, and we were ranked number 1. 2005, Georgia ranked 13. We were ranked 3. 2001. Here's the game that really compares, even though it's not against Georgia. 21 LSU, number 2 Tennessee, 2001. You look at all the history, you look at all this interesting stuff right in front of us, and what could happen? What could happen here? Well, it's really tough for me to predict this game. It is really tough because you want to go with facts, you want to go with truth, with data, with accurate analysis. But sometimes you just can't help but go with your heart. And my heart tells me that LSU are going to, if not win this game, severely push Georgia to the absolute brink. I just have that type of feeling. I just have that type of feeling that Brian Kelly, after what we saw this last week, he's just not going to let that happen again. And you have the feeling from the players, like if it does happen again, there's hell to pay. There will be hell to pay. Like you have the feeling like there's consequences from these players, like for poor performances. It's very interesting. But I got to get out for a night on the town, everybody. We've got to go meet some people. We've got to go get some craziness going our way. It's going to be a wild weekend here. We're going to try and get down there to the Mercedes. We want to take some cool photos with it going all red and all that craziness. And we're going to get some food. We're going to go see what Atlanta has to offer our craziness. We got so many different LSU luminaries in this town right now. And we're probably going to be hanging out with all of them here in just a minute. And keep it tuned to LSUODYSSEY.com, because this weekend is a time where you really do not know what's going to be posted next. We right now are probably about 30 feet away from players, families, coaches, you name it, on this team. And there's a lot of opportunities, people to talk to, people to hang out with, people to connect with. And I'm just very excited. I'm so happy to be here. Cannot wait for this game tomorrow. It's very tough for me to predict a winner here. It's very tough for me to predict a winner here. But we came all this way, traveled very far, paid crazy expenses to get here, to do this. How could I not pick LSU to win this game? You know what? LSU are going to do it. LSU are going to do it 34-30 against Georgia. LSU 34, Georgia 30. I don't know about you, but I like that score. I just feel like that's the score. 34-30. It's coming to me in a vision. from on high. I cannot wait to see Harold Perkins tomorrow because I feel like Harold Perkins is going to be so key on defense. And there's a few guys on offense that I'm really looking forward to watching. Is I want to see how Malik Neighbors can dominate Georgia's corners. I want to see him dominate these guys. And I want to see Jaden Daniels actually give him a chance too. Actually give your guys a damn chance of the ball. Jack Besh is the absolute X factor, I believe, that could really beat Georgia. That's not just me stumping for Jack. Seriously, you give him the football, he sets the tempo for everything. He gets everything going. He's so infectious in what he does and the way he bludgeons and beats down and wears down defenses, secondaries over the middle with the linebackers, safeties. It's something that starts the dominoes to all fall. And if these coaches don't understand that, they're gonna get acquainted with that all off season. Um, but they should know already with what Jack Besh did at the spring game, what he's done all season, when he's been given the chances. It's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good numbers for how rarely he's been targeted. But really, I feel like you hit Jack Besh for 8 yards here, for 12 yards there underneath. You know, then you can hit Booty for 40 with a post, a deep post. Then you can hit Malik with a deep slant. These deeper throws downfield open up. And I think, against Georgia, this is the night, this is the game, this is the afternoon that we need to see Daniels throw the ball downfield. Like, Jaden, there is nothing more to lose this season. Just give it to your receivers, let them make a play. There's nothing on the line that's like, oh my God, Jaden Daniels, how could you throw that interception? I don't care if Jaden Daniels throws four or five interceptions tomorrow, as long as he throws 6 or 7 touchdowns in the process and gives these guys chances to put up 100-yard games, touchdowns. Because I don't know why this is so strange to understand, but usually when Kayshawn Booty, Jack Besh, Malik Neighbors, uh, Brian Thomas Jr., usually when those guys have 100-yard games, which I think only Malik and Kayshawn have had 100-yard games in their career out of the list. I think maybe Brian Thomas Jr. has had one. It's usually equaling an LSU victory. So it's not just like padding stats and looking cool. It's actually a way that wins games for LSU. We'll see how Mike Denbrock will want to call this game. It will be a huge chess match, Mike Denbrock versus Kirby Smart in this game. And I'm very, 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 very excited to be here. I am so humbled, honored. It feels like it's already like 6 p.m. at night, and it's like, what, 3:52? It's just, this is crazy. This is a whirlwind. Sorry we were like a half hour, 45 minutes, I think maybe even an hour late coming on. We just barely had gotten to our hotel the second we started this live stream. So bear with us, but thank you for your patience. I'm sorry if you joined and we weren't there, but we're predicting LSU to beat Georgia 34-30. And is it crazy? Is it nuts? Well, I don't know. We actually picked LSU to beat Alabama this season too. So there is that. We predicted that, outcome as well. I think we had it, what, 34-32 or something like that in that game. LSU, Alabama. Yeah. Let's see. There will be blood. LSU versus Alabama prediction final diagnosis. See, that to me was actually that was a tough article to put together. Holy shit. Okay, I did not look at this. Did not. We predicted in that game 34 LSU, 30 Alabama. That was very close to what the score would end up being, but that's the same damn score we just put right here for LSU beating Georgia. Wow. That's kind of strange. That's kind of funny. Yeah. 34-30. LSU are going to beat Georgia. It's not going to be easy. LSU aren't going to have everything their way. In fact, I would say probably most things are going to go against LSU. But that's where you're going to see this team's resiliency, their ability to battle through adversity, battle against the tide, fight through the bullshit. Like, I think you're going to see that really shine through. But really, this game, it is a big deal for LSU. I kind of feel like it's a game where LSU really need to win. Maybe not win this game because so many people aren't expecting us to win, but you got to be competitive here. You've got to push Georgia to the brink. You got to put Georgia under the pressure. You've got to really kick Georgia in the ass here. But it's all about stopping Kenny McIntosh, not letting him be a dual threat out of the backfield, which has been incredible catching the ball. Remember that. Because, if the run isn't there early for McIntosh, well, play action, Stetson's looking downfield, and then he'll just dump it off to McIntosh. If McIntosh is able to make one guy miss, he's got 10 yards. So, LSU have got to utilize speed on the edges, utilize speed through the middle as well, and let Harold Perkins play every snap of this game. There should be no earthly reason in any way, shape, or form why Harold Perkins should not be on that field for every single snap of this game. You play that man. Play the man. Instead of, pay the man, which obviously pay the man too, but Get Gordon's doing that for us. Play the man. He played 39 total snaps out of, I think, 74, 75 total last week. That's like half the game. I know he got a little bit hurt for a while, but he's good to go this week. Obviously, the injury wasn't big enough to keep him out of that game in critical moments when we needed him. I mean, LSU were holding on by the string of their pants with Harold Perkins out there. He had some missed tackles as well himself. But, when he was not on the field, LSU didn't have a chance in hell. So it's all about this defensive line play for LSU. It's all about what this secondary are gonna do while Mr. DBU is across the country. We're really locked in, dialed in. We're so excited to be here, and LSU are going to pull this off. 34-30. I am very confident in this. At the same time, I feel like, it's just all fun from here. It's about LSU being competitive. It's about LSU sending a message. And maybe a second defeat in a row wouldn't be that big of a deal for these two teams to face, because it's like, hey, you thought you could just. Anyway, I am rambling my head off. I am just wow. I am here in Atlanta. Thank you for everybody for joining us. Sorry we couldn't write, a 9-page article, and this will have to suffice. But we would have made the same points. We would have made the same points. Um, this is a Georgia team that are very skilled, very adept on offense with the kill shots. They've got an unbelievable third down percentage. I mean, look at this. Look at this right here. They are averaging over 200 yards rushing a game, 285 average passing the game, which is pretty damn high for Georgia. Traditionally, just under 500 yards per offense per game, 6.9 average per play. Damn. Sorry, I was kind of trying to peer and look at that. Oh, really? Kenny McIntosh, stop him. Dejon Edwards, stop him. Stetson Bennett, stop his dual threat decision making at all costs. I'm telling you right now, Stetson Bennett is probably the pair of legs that could hurt LSU the most tomorrow. It's about cutting off the head of that snake. Everybody, you're going to be seeing a lot of craziness on LSUODYSSEY.com this weekend. Thank you so much. We're going to be getting to it. Everybody, I want to just have, before I go, special love you to my sweet baby Chelsea, my sweet actual baby Sage. Love you too, miss you too more than anything in this world. I love you, little guys. And thank you to my parents as well. My dad actually dropped me off, allowing Chelsea to sleep. He dropped me off at the airport, so that was very cool of him to do as well. And um, always offers his travel advice because my dad was a novice traveler, was always traveling everywhere, and I mean, we travel everywhere when we were growing up too, as kids in our family. So we understand that, but just you always want to get his feedback, and he knows what he's doing when it comes to travel, and you always want to get his perspective. Um, just wanted to say what's up to my family, my brother Eric out in Hollywood, or maybe in Provo. I'm not sure which one right now. My brother Jess literally went from Costa Rica to California, back to Utah, back to, I mean, like, where's this dude going next? Like, I mean, it's crazy. And then you got my sister Amy with the two boys, Ethan and Jack, the two little twin boys, cutest little guys in the world. Miss them as well. Just wanted to shout out my family. I feel like I need to do that more because it's my show, and I feel like why not? Um, I should be doing that more because it's on my mind, and maybe I should, people are saying don't mix church and state type of things, like we're doing it here on LSUOdyssey.com. We've always been mixing those two. So but yeah, everybody, we just pretty good. LSU will upset Georgia 34-30. Call me crazy, call me nuts, call me high, call me drunk, call me all the above. Either way, we just did it. We just picked it. Thank you, everybody. Keep it tuned and locked in here all weekend. You have no idea who's coming up next. It will shock you. It will surprise you. It will excite you. Everybody, go Tigers. We're winning this damn thing. 34-30. Believe.